Everyone, my name is Kat Fedosova. I'm a professional ballroom dancer, and today we are going to learn how to dance a Rumba walk with the spiral turn. And thank you so much, MihranTV, for having me here today. Let's get started. We're going to start off with the exercise where you will have your right foot in the back and we're going to collect it to our left foot. So we're going to go back and then together, back and then together. What's happening here, I want you to see my hips, and as I collect my foot, my left hip is moving up. As I move my foot back, my right hip is moving up. So in, left hip up, out, right hip up, and left hip up, right hip up, left hip up, right hip up. Now let's do it on the other side, and left foot back and the left hip up. Now collect my right hip up, left hip up, right hip up, left hip up. And this is pretty much what's going to happen within each step in the Rumba walk. And back, hip up, together, hip up. Now, as we warm our hips and we get the pendulum action of the Rumba, right? So we're going to continue moving with a step forward. So I start with my right foot back. I'm moving through the neutral position, feet together, and now my right foot will continue moving forward. As I move forward, my left hip is continuing moving up. Let's see it from this direction, and we already have my left hip up as I collect my foot, and as I step forward, my left hip will continue moving up, elevated. And same thing will happen as I collect my left to my right hip is moving up, and as I move my left foot forward, my right hip will continue moving up. And the same together, left hip up, and now my left hip will continue moving up. Okay? Now let's practice it in this direction, and as I move forward, my right hip up. As I collect, my left hip move to my right hip settled, and my left hip move up. And now together, my right hip move up as I step. So there is a position where we have a neutral position where my hips already start switching. But it's a split-second moment. You don't want to think about this yet. So at the moment, let's just think about moving progressively forward with our feet and our hips. And as I move forward, my hip move back. As I move forward, my hip move back and up. So the hip is really moving up in diagonal position. So back and up, diagonal. And as I move forward, my hip move diagonal. And back, and back, and in Rumba, we have 4 counts and we have 3 steps, which means 1 count will go into each step and 2 counts will go in 1 step. So let me show you how it's going to look. So we step on 2, we step on 3, we step on 4, and we hold 1. Again, we step on 2, we step on 3, we step on 4, and we're going to hold 1. So our last step, the third step, will be longer than the previous steps. So together, I'm going to be creating a tempo of quick, quick, slow. Quick, quick, slow, right? That's just the idea of how the timing will work with the music. So now, as we walk forward, the slow count, the slow step, our third step, will be the step where we have to extend and showcase the hip action. Because really that's the moment when we have enough time to really extend our back leg and showcase our posture and kind of enjoy that moment. That's the flavor of rumba walk. We have fast steps, and then we have this elegant, beautiful step. So now let's go back to counts where we're going to start with 2, 3, with 2 steps forward on the right, on the left, and then the third step, I'm going to count 4, 1. 4, 1, and I'm stretching it because I want you to see how much I wanted to extend that line and present that third step. Okay, let's do this again. And 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, again. 2, 3, 4, 1. So now you see that there is a difference between first 2 steps and the third step. And as we move our hips, the exercise we did before will be really, really useful, because now I want you to really rotate your hips in that directions. So we're gonna always keep them moving from side to side. And 2, step forward on the right foot, keep your left hip up. Now 3, step forward with your left foot, keep your right hip up. And now 4, 1. 2 counts to really move your left hip up and also create a little bit of extra twist. So as you can see, my foot, I'm really twisting off the floor, and that what helps me to move my hip away. And then change directions. So step forward on the left foot, keep your right hip up. Step forward on your right foot, keep your left hip up. And now the third step, 4, 1, we're gonna extend our foot as much as we can. I'm really pushing off my back foot and using the rotation. So if you can see from this direction, I'm drilling into the floor with my back foot without moving my upper body. So you will feel the crunch in your right side from moving and rotating your hip away from your upper body. And I want you to actually practice it with your arms in the frame so you could kind of feel and see how much squeeze you can get. Okay, as you get more flexible, you'll be able to squeeze more, right? So always try to push yourself to that limit where you feel you can go a little bit more, but every time you squeeze more and more, you'll get more flexible. Okay, so and I will do it now forward toward the camera so you can see how my hip elevating as I start, and that would be my 4, 1 as a prep step. 4, 1, and now I'm gonna continue with the 2 step, with the 3 step, and now again 4, 1. Okay? Now, since we have 2 counts for 4, 1, I want you to think what we can do besides extending. And there is a move I like to present to you, which call a spiral turn, where we can add it into the 4-1 step. So instead of waiting and extending our position, we can actually spiral, which is more exciting. Of course, it requires a lot of technique and good balance in order to spiral. So we're going to learn now how can we spiral without moving, without losing the balance, and do it within 2 counts, because we only have 4-1. Okay? So starting off with the step forward on your left foot, extending your right hip, rotating your right hip away, keeping your upper body forward. This is the position which will help you to create a momentum for the quick rotation. So I'm really holding my weight on the back foot, because that will help me to spiral with very, very fast rhythm. So if I move my weight only on one foot and there is no weight on my back leg, then I don't have any energy to start with. I don't have any opposition in my body. So we wanted to create this energy between my right and my left foot by separating my hip and my rib cage. So I'm creating opposite direction. Now, as I get maximum of that separation, I'm just gonna spiral, okay? So we're gonna go stretch up, hip up, rib forward, upper body in the frame. Now, keep your back foot engaged with the floor. Keep the weight on your back leg. And now, as we spiral, we're just gonna let the momentum take it into the turn. Okay, and as you can see, I didn't move my feet at all. I'm just letting my right hip and my right foot spiral around my standing leg. Okay, and as I spiral, I keep my spine straight. And as I finish, I settle on my left hip so I can continue moving forward. Okay, now let's do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to step forward with my right foot, and I'm going to spiral toward my left shoulder. And now my left foot will go around my right standing leg. Okay, again, create a position in my right rib cage and my left hip, keeping my frame forward, long spine, shoulders down, long neckline. We want to look kind of like a ballerinas here. Very, very proper, beautiful posture. Now, moving my hip back and creating more tension between my upper body and my hip will create this momentum and to start my spiral turn. So my back foot is keep moving backwards and keep pivoting, which helps me to spiral around my standing leg. Okay, and hip, and keep the rotation. And now I'm settled on my right foot. We'll do this again, and step forward with right, keep your left moving back, and keep your left hip moving back, and keep your spine straight as you spiral. And important, keep your left foot on the floor as you spiral. So if you let yourself to move this foot, you don't have enough support. So it's important to keep both feet in the same placement. So after you finish your spiral, you end up being on the right foot and your left foot around. You're wrapped around your right foot. Okay, and then from here you can extend your left foot forward and continue with the next step. Here is another note for your spiral turn. As you spiral, you want to make sure you keep your posture straight at all times, and you want to keep your eyes forward without dropping your upper body. As you spiral, you focusing and you spotting forward. Here is an example. If I don't spot forward, you might end up losing your balance. So together, Rumba walk forward and the spiral turn will look like this. So we start off with the right foot forward on 2, left foot forward on 3, and continue with right foot forward on 4, and finishing on 1. And from here, the goal is to keep the balance and be able to continue on 2 with your left foot, on 3 with your right foot, and then the next spiral to the other side. Okay, I'm gonna start off from the edge with my right foot forward on 2, with my left foot forward on 3, and now on 4, step forward with your right, continue with a spiral turn toward your left, and continue forward on your left, and on your right, and on your left, continue and spiral to your right side. Okay, one more time. And starting off with the right foot forward, continue with left, continue with the right foot forward, and spiral turn. Keep your left foot engaged so you can brush through into the next step on 2, on 3, on 4, and spiral to your right. Okay, again, I'm going to start off with the left foot now so I can get other side spiral, and step forward on left, step forward on right, step forward on left, spiral to your right. Step forward on right, step forward on left, step forward on right, spiral to your left. Okay, so now I'm going to do this facing you, and you can see how my hips are moving from one side to another. And ready, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1. When I finish my spiral, I finished on my standing leg, settled position with my hip. And 2, and 3, and 4, settled on my left side. Okay, one more time. And starting off with my right hip up, and I'm gonna count left hip up, right hip up, left hip up, 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 into the spiral. And right hip up, left hip up, right hip up, spiral, settle in my left side, and left hip up. So we're always moving from side to side. It's very smooth. When there is no stop, there is no stops in between. My hips flowing from side to side. It's like a conversation when you are connecting from one side to another side. You talk to all the friends in the party, right? So you don't just talk to one person. So your hip is moving to the right, to the left, to the right. Now we do the spiral. Your hip moving to the left, to the right, to the left, and now the spiral. Okay, so the good exercise for spiral turn will be to just pivot in place from side to side. So if I'm moving forward on my left foot, I'm gonna let myself spiral halfway, kind of to face the other direction. And as you can see, my body weight is 50-50 split weight. Here, I'm in between 2 feet. So to be able to dance a spiral turn and keep your balance and make it very quick, there is a tip I can give you. If you wanted to create a very sharp spiral and be able to finish it in balance, you should create enough separation and enough tension from your upper body and your hip. So this is the exercise we're going to use. So we wanted to create as much separation upper body and the hip. That's where the spiral will get the power. So as I create, if I create enough of that tension, then my spiral will end up being very sharp and very quick. So let's try it. I'm going to give us 8 counts to create maximum separation and maximum tension in our body and our feet. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, spiral. Okay? And let's do the same thing on the other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, spiral. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, spiral. And on the other side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, spiral. Now you can see how much important to create that hip rotation in the Rumba walk, and in order to spiral fast, you have to get the energy first. Now let's practice Rumba walk forward without spiral and Rumba walk forward with a spiral. So I'm gonna start off with my right foot forward, no spiral, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And now with the spiral. And starting off with the right foot forward, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. When you get really, really advanced, I want you to try making a double spiral. I will demonstrate it for you. And 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But for now, make sure you practice your Rumba walk forward and your spiral in the slow motion. So another tip for the spiral turn, in order to get a good, sharp, quick rotation, make sure you spot forward. Because if you try to look everywhere as you spiral, you might get dizzy and it will slow your turn, slow your rotation. So always keep your spot forward and create the separation from your hip and your rib cage and your upper body. So after you've done that, now keep looking and spotting forward. Don't see anything in between. All I see is my spot, and I come back as fast as I can back to my spot. Okay? Spot and spot and spot, spot. That will really, really help you to focus on your center, on your spine, to be able to finish in a good balance. Okay, let's try it to music. Right foot back, continue, 5, 6, 7, 7, 4, 1. Step, step, step. Step, step, step. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. As you can see, I'm holding my 4. 4, 1. 2, 3, hold. 2, 3, hold. 2, 3, hold. 2, 3, hold. Now we will add the spiral turn in our 4, 1, third step. And step 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, it's much more challenging to do Rumba walk with a spiral turn. I recommend you to practice both, separate, only spot turn or only Rumba walk. And if you master it, then you can practice it together with music. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial learning Rumba walk and the spiral turn. Please keep in mind to really practice it slow, and also we have another videos in the description box below. You can find all the links of cucaracha step, of the basic step, and the spot turn we've done before. Thank you, MihranTV, for having me here today. And if you like my outfit, you can purchase it on my website, katfedosova.com. Or you can find the information in the description box below. Thank you. Bye.